Bertrand Arthur William Russell,
18 May 1870 to February 1970, was a British mathematician, philosopher, logician, and
public intellectual.
To conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom. The whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, and wiser people so full of doubts. The good life is inspired by love and guided by knowledge. In all affairs, it's a healthy thing now and then to hang a question mark on the things you have long taken for granted. The demand for certainty is one which is natural to man, but is nevertheless an intellectual vice. Freedom in general may be defined as the absence of obstacles to realizing desires. The fundamental concept in social science is power, in the same sense in which energy is the fundamental concept in physics. Do not fear to be eccentric in opinion, for every opinion now accepted was once eccentric. Man is a credulous animal and must believe something. In the absence of good grounds for belief, he will be satisfied with bad ones. The time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. The greatest challenge to any thinker is stating the problem in a way that will allow a solution. Not to be absolutely certain is, I think, one of the essential things in rationality. The world is full of magical things patiently waiting for our wits to grow sharper. In the part of this universe that we know there is great injustice, and often the good suffer, and often the wicked prosper, and one hardly knows which of those is the more unknowing. The only thing that will redeem mankind is cooperation. A sense of duty is useful in work, but offensive in personal relations. The good of a book lies in its being read. Do not let your beliefs run away with you. Do not believe in anything simply because it is spoken and rumored by many. One of the symptoms of an approaching nervous breakdown is the belief that one's work is terribly important. The wise man thinks about his troubles only when there is some purpose in doing so. At other times, he thinks about others' troubles. In the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. Of all forms of caution, caution in love is perhaps the most fatal to true happiness. The world is not given to us on a plate. It is something we must create as a result of our own toil and effort. The belief in the possibility of a short, decisive war appears to be one of the most ancient and dangerous of human illusions. Many people would sooner die than think. In fact, they do so. To teach how to live without certainty, and yet without being paralyzed by hesitation, is perhaps the chief thing that philosophy in our age can do for those who study it. In the visible world, the Milky Way is a tiny fragment. Within this fragment, the solar system is an infinitesimal speck, and of this speck, our planet is a microscopic dot. On this dot, tiny lumps of impure carbon and water of complicated structure with somewhat unusual physical and chemical properties crawl about for a few years until they are dissolved again into the elements of which they are compounded. It is the preoccupation with possessions, more than anything else, that prevents us from living freely and nobly. To be able to concentrate for a considerable time is essential to difficult achievement. In science, as in love, too much concentration on technique can often lead to impotence.